everybody. Welcome back to Elders Boxing. We back again. Going to do a weekend recap, man, for these fights. We just finished up the Matchroom show. So, it wasn't like a crazy fight week anyway. So we're going to get to it, do a little recap and work our way up. We're going to go back to Thursday, June the 12th. This was Gabe Flores Jr. So, he's number 3 in the WBO at lightweight, you know what I'm saying? And since he left Top Rank, he's been having fights in his hometown. And he's been, looking decent, you know what I'm saying? The last fight he had on Pro Box, I thought he lost that fight, but he scored like bookend knockdowns in the first and the 10th round. This fight right here, he had in his the other day, he looked all right though. He won. He swept on all the scorecards. You know what I'm saying? He keeps his position with the WBO. So, being at number 3, he would probably be up for the winner of Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes. So that's why it was intriguing to me to see how he would look, because that's a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying, to kind of maintain that position. So we're gonna see. Gabe Flores is a good boxer, more so of a boxer than like a puncher. Even though he did score a knockdown in this fight, but we know him from Top Rank, where he lost a couple of fights and looked like he didn't have the best of chin, and they got, you know what I'm saying, they cut loose Gabe Flores. So I like that he's been staying active. He worked himself up to the number 3 spot. He also have a world ranking in the WBA. So we'll see. So it was interesting for me just to keep tabs on that. So he looks solid though. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what's next for him. Maybe he get an eliminator with the WBO or do something else. We'll see. All right. Teaching the building. What's good with you, bro? Yeah. That was a good performance by Hitchens. That's what you're talking about. Yo, easy money. All right, this one right here was from Ghana. You had Andrew Tabiti. He stopped this kid Dickens. It was pretty easy work. It was like a Bridgerweight. I think it was for the silver title, WBC silver title. So they had this card in Ghana. He had some notable names on there too: Brandon Glanton, Harry Davis, and stuff like that. Those guys did their thing. But yeah, this shit was kind of hard to find. I ended up watching it on YouTube. It won on the Zone. Let's say we're talking about the Zone in the UK, but I ended up able to watch it. I mean, easy money for Tabiti. I mean, he's in a position where he can get maybe one big fight or get a big fight, whether it's a heavyweight or a Bridgerweight, quote unquote. So that's what it is. Moving on. Here's the overtime show from last night. So pretty good show. Had a lot of young guys on there. You know what I'm saying? He had Keith Cologne. He had a second round stoppage victory. He looked good. He's all knockout 6-0, 6 KOs. Thompson, Tamir Smalls, good looking young guys. You know what I'm saying? That's coming through the ranks. Kurt Scooby. He had pretty much he did his thing against Rose. Rose been around for a while. He ended up stopping him. Kobe's a big Scooby is a big strong guy, whether it's at 35 or 140, and he just wear down Haskell Rose, beat him up and stopped him. Winston Lee, what's good with you? Salute. Miss Joette in the building. Salute. What's good? Salute to you. Pizarro versus McCullough. That was a good fight right there. They was stumping. You know what I'm saying? Pizarro was kind of boxing and using his angle, switching his southpaw every now and again. And then McCullough was just tough, strong, active. He had a good work rate. It was a good fight. It was in the balance late in the fight. I thought McCullough pulled it out, and the judges looked out for him too. He won a close, unanimous decision. So McCullough is one of those guys, man. He comes in on the B side. If you ain't careful, he'll beat you. You know what I'm saying? So these up and coming prospects and these guys at 140, they're trying to get him some smoke. Like, he's not an easy out. Now, if you building a guy and you want him to get some rounds and get tested, McCullough is that guy. Even though he's tough and strong, he got some holes in his game where you can beat him, but he's solid. That was a mild upset, and those in the know, they knew what time it was with that. I had people hitting me up talking about they got McCullough winning. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, and I picked them to win as well. So that's what's up. Main event: Liana Cruz versus Regina Chavez. Another good fight. We had some drama. We had some drama early. Chavez landed, I think was a right hook. She dropped Leanna Cruz in the first round, and it looked like Cruz hurt her left knee. But she got back up, and I thought she won pretty much the majority of the rounds, the rest of the fight. She was pot shotting. I thought she landed the crisp punches, counter punching. Chavez is strong, though. She kept coming. She got a lot of dog in her. But Cruz ended up getting the majority decision. This was a WBA eliminator at 115. It makes so Cruz is the mandatory for Jasmine Ortega, the WBA champion at 115. Chavez fought Ortega for the vacant title, and Chavez really won that fight. That's why she got another opportunity at an eliminator. So tough out for her. She'll be back. Cruz versus Ortega. That's a good fight, though. Those ladies got some back and forth, and they can sell the fight. We'll see if that's next. I was also, when I was looking at the fight, I was thinking about how will Gabby Fundora look at 115 against one of these ladies. And I think Gabby can do her thing at 115 as well. She's the undisputed champion at 112, and she's talking about even moving down to 108 to get some titles or go up to 15. But either way, she's gonna be a problem being 5'9", fighting these short girls and that long reach, and she can punch. So that's what I was looking at. But it was an entertaining fight though. Salute to Cruz though, fighting on a bag leg, and she got up from a knockdown, and then she finished the fight real strong. So salute to her. That was overtime. It's a good card. All right, so a couple of cards we're gonna cover. So this is from Friday. This was we got Erislandy Alvarez. So he's a hot Cuban prospect. You know what I'm saying? He was an Olympian. He fought in Argentina last night. He scored a 10-round unanimous decision. A lot of people are high on him. He got a promote. He's with a promotion company in Germany, so they've been keeping him busy since he signed with them. He's good. You know what I'm saying? He's in that mode of Andy Cruz. Like he talented just like that. He fights at 140. So yeah, that's a good one. I like this kid. I like him. He had a crazy knockout victory his last fight, and then this one he had to grind it out to win a 10-round decision. So that was some good shit. Also, so this is so today, tonight we had the second part of that WBA event. So Nonito Donaire, future Hall of Famer, he fought Andres Campos for the WBA interim title at 118. So Donaire dominated the fight, basically outboxed this kid. He was coming forward. He was tough, but Donaire outboxed him. Really didn't really hurt him that much with the left hook, but he outboxed him. In the fourth round, they had a head clash over Donaire's right eye, and he was affected by that. They fought all the way up to the ninth round, and then they had to stop the fight because he said he couldn't see. Went to the scorecards, and Donaire won by technical decision to become the new WBA interim champion. So that's how that fight played out. It was probably like it got stopped in the ninth round, so that fight was probably like a 7 rounds to 2 type of fight for Donaire. He outboxed him, used his ring generalship and his experience to outbox the kid. So we'll see what's next for him because Donaire, he's in the twilight of his career at 42. 118, you got Junto Nakatani, who is a killer. He just unified the division. He beat Ryo Nishida in a good fight last Sunday. You got Antonio Vargas, who is the WBA champion. He got elevated. He's going to go to Japan and face Diego Higa. That's July the 30th. So maybe he get the winner of that. Maybe he'll get Inoue younger brother, Takuma, former world champion. Even a Gallo Estrada. I know Gallo Estrada is fighting. He's fighting tonight in Mexico. If he wins, maybe they do like a old school, old head fight for the legends, future Hall of Famers. I wouldn't rule out Chocolatito as well. Maybe Chocolatito want to ride off in the sunset and fight Donaire, 2 legends of the game. So we just throwing out options. We don't know. It's too early to say, but just throwing some shit out there. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Salute to everybody in the building. I appreciate you guys coming through. For sure. We almost home. Here's another one. In Spain today we had John Fernandez versus Ricardo Nunes. So if you remember Nunes, he fought Gervonta Tank Davis in 2019 in Baltimore. Got stopped in 2 rounds. So he moved up to 140. He got dropped. So this fight kind of ended kind of crazy. He got dropped in the second. He got back up. Fernandez landed a good right hand, dropped him. He got back up, and then in the third, Nunes was punching Fernandez after the bell or some shit. The referee was holding him back, and he was still trying to punch on Fernandez. He got disqualified. So Fernandez, he wins the WBC international title at 140. Put himself in position with a big fight. There's no shortage of fights at 140, one of the deepest divisions in the sport of boxing. So yeah, we'll see what this WBC title takes him. We don't know yet, but he's a solid fighter. All right, to the Matchroom show. Hitchens and Kambosos. We lost a bunch of fights for this card. We lost the heavyweight fight with Barrera versus Ronnie Hines. We lost that. We lost Tito Mercado, and then on fight night we lost Pablo Valdez. So it was kind of messed up the show a little bit with a lot of the guys and fights not happening. But we're gonna run up the card though. So we had Adam Maka. He made his pro debut. He got a stoppage. I think it was third or second round. So pro debut for him. Nashant Dev, he went the 6th round distance, got a unanimous decision. Zaquin Moses got a 4th round stoppage. He looks strong, aggressive, sharp. So he's gonna be a future world champion. You can tell. Young in his pro career, he probably can get like 3 or 4 more fights this year. You know what I'm saying? Jab Queen Boxing, what's good with you? Salute. So the big heavyweight, Terramona, yo, I mean, he ran through this dude Whitfield, had him laid out in the corner. But Terramona got some skills, big strong dude, Olympic pedigree. I think he's 8-0. I mean, shit, I like it. It's not like big, strong heavyweights coming through. So he got a 1st-round knockout. They talking about him coming back in Australia in August. Matchroom trying to do a show out there. But I like Terramona, though. He's good. You know what I'm saying? Andy Cruz versus Mashiro. Man, dominant performance by Andy Cruz. His jab was on point. It set the table, and then he just started running numbers on Mashiro. He couldn't miss with the right hand. Like, the right hand was on point. He dropped him, I think, the 3rd round. And then after that, he's just going crazy on him. She said, yeah, I have faith in Africa. Yeah, good shit. Good shit. Good stop. Good performance. But Cruz dominated. That was the type of performance I wanted to see from him. And that was nice. You know what I'm saying? So he stopped this kid in the 5th round, 6th round. That was good. 2 times in the 3rd, for sure. 2 times in the 3rd, and then end up beating him up, stopped him on his feet. So that's what's up, man. That's the performance you need going into a title fight, becoming the IBF mandatory. And yeah, him and Mortala is a good fight. You feel vindicated. That's what's up, bro. Him and Andy Cruz versus Ray Mortala will be a good fight when they get to it. He's the mandatory for Mortala. We know Mortala just got elevated to full IBF champion after Lomachenko vacated. Far as if that's going to be next, I don't think it's next. I think Mortala will probably do listen to the post-fight interview, it tell you that it's not next because they asked him about Ray Mortala. He started talking about Keyshawn. You know what I'm saying? So they'll probably do a voluntary for Mortala just to get that title defense under his belt. Maybe they'll take him to his home in California, Ontario, something like that in that region because he's from Fontana. Fontana and Ontario is like right there, right next door. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they'll take him over there to see. And Robert Garcia's gym is in Moreno Valley. So that's not far. It's all like in a 45-minute radius type shit. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they can do something like that, bring him home and have like a title defense. And then I'm expecting the IBL to order a mandatory fight between Mortala and Cruz, maybe the end of the year. So Andy Cruz can get one more fight in, but he looked good, looked sharp. Um, I like his defense. Defense is good. His jab was on point. His jab set the table. And that guy Mashiro wasn't moving his head. With a guy that experience, you getting up out of there. So that's good shit right there for Andy Cruz. Main event. I mean, this is easy money, easy fight. I ain't even like I was about to score this fight, and once I seen the first round, I just balled up my paper. I'm good. We ain't even gotta score this. Hitchens and Cambosis, man, easy one sided performance by Hitchens. And he proved it, and he showed that he got one of the best jabs in the game too. I mean, either his jab is spectacular or Cambosis' defense is trash. Maybe a little bit of both. But he set the table again with the jab, and he dominated. Like everything he wanted to do, he dominated. He wasn't moving. He was right there in the middle of the ring, or he was right there in front of Cambosis. Cambosis too small for 140. He couldn't do nothing with Hitchens. Hitchens could have just beat him with the jab, but I like he was trying to use the pull counter. He was kind of had his timing off with that, but the straight right hand was good. 1-2s, that's what Hitchens do. But like I was mentioning, he was talking about knockout, knockout. I was like, bro, if he go to the body, of course he gonna get it because he's not a guy that really goes to the body like that. But he did tonight. You know what I'm saying? He hurt Cambosis with a body shot in the exchange, and then after, I think that was the fifth round. I can't remember, something like that. Because I felt like in the sixth round, Cambosis, that might be the one round I probably could have gave to Cambosis, the sixth round. But yeah, it was all Hitchens. The jab was on point. When he went to the body, he hurt Cambosis, and then he finished him off with a left to the body to stop him. So that was some good shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Salute to him. She said facts. That's a good performance at home on that stage in MSG. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, all those guys in and around his division, listen, let's go. Hitchens is a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys, you like to compare performances. That might be the best performance out of all the top guys that beat Cambosis. Like, real talk. I mean, he stopped him earlier than Cambosis. I mean, earlier than Lomachenko. I mean, he didn't lose no round. I mean, like I said, if you want to give him a sympathy round, round 6 maybe. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, that was a dominant performance. That's what you do with a guy that's limited. Even though Cambosis is feisty and he's game, he just ain't talented and he ain't that good like that. So good performance by Hitchens over Cambosis. Yo, I mean, shit. He got big fights ahead of him. He said he a free agent, so that's kind of, She said, yeah, it was. Yeah, man, good shit for him. Andy Cruz and Hitchens put on a great performances tonight and got the stoppage with guys that are not supposed to be in the ring with you. That's what we like to see as boxing fans. You dominate the fight, then there's a certain point where I'm like, bro, you gotta get him up out of there. It's interesting though, because Tank, after the seventh round, Tank tweeted out that they ain't killers like me. You know what I'm saying? Because Hitchens had him hurt and had him going, but he couldn't stop him at that time, fifth and sixth round. So Tank tweeted out, yo, he ain't a killer like me. And then the next round, Hitchens got the stoppage. They probably showed him the tweet in the corner. We can't put it past that because Shakur talked to him. He was on the cell phone talking to him, giving him advice. The corner gave Hitchens the phone so he can listen to what Shakur was telling him. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just ironic how that happened. Tank was like, they ain't killers like me. And he went out there and got the stoppage. So maybe that was some motivation. But I like Hitchens versus Teofimo Unification. Look like those guys, I don't know. They're looking buddy in the ring. He called out Haney. I'll take that. That'd be a high level chess match for sure. Miss Joette, I really like Hitchens, but do you think if he was in there with a KO artist where he got the KO? Nah, he wouldn't have got the KO. He probably would have played it smart, outbox him, stuff like that. So I'm gonna say no. Like if he was in there with Matisse, it'd probably be holding and shit like that, moving a little bit more. So yeah, I'm gonna say that. Um, so yeah, Haney and my man Hitchens. I like that fight. You know what I'm saying? That can be a high level chess match. Lemos was a power puncher. Yeah, he was. And he was holding them and shit and grabbing them. The thing in that fight though, Hitchens. Oh, you heard the commentary. You listen to the commentary. Salute to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Taking that shit. I got you. But it is similar to it. I think Cortez jab is more of a power jab though. But I'm with you. Um, I think. Oh, in that Lemos fight, Hitchens didn't get enough credit fighting on the inside in that fight. He was letting a lot of sneaky inside shots in that fight. And you know what I'm saying? He said, "Come on now." Oh yes, sir. You talking about you listen to the commentary? Yeah, bro. I'm with you. I've been saying it. I don't know. I don't see you everywhere though. I don't be. If you said it, salute. Cause I don't be knowing. But I heard on the telecast, and then you know what I'm saying. I don't know. Shit. I don't know what you say all the time, but salute. He do got a good jab. We can't agree with that though. We can't agree. But I think Cortez is a little bit harder though. But Hitchens, shit, he busted my man's eye, and he was consistent with it. So for sure, salute. You know what I'm saying? No argument for me. But I think the Haney fight is good. That'll be a high level chess match. You know what I'm saying? High level chess match. Haney is more well. I know the last fight he wasn't the aggressor, but what we've seen in the past, he's more of the aggressive fighter than Hitchens. Hitchens would just take what you give him. That would be a battle of the jabs right there. You know what I'm saying? Body work boxing. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. I like to see like high level chess match like that. We'll see if they can actually make that fight. But Hitchens actually has a lot of options. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't have a mandatory on the table no more because Matisse, he about to go the WBC route and face our brother Playo. And then the one of that fight has Dalton Smith as the mandatory. So it might not be a unification with the WBC. WBA, you got Gary Antoine Russell. He has a mandatory on the books. We have to see if they're gonna make that fight. It's been real quiet. That deadline passed almost a month ago, like May 20th. That deadline done been passed. And y'all know PBC be kind of keeping shit close to them. They don't really put out a lot of shit, but that mandatory is due against Andy Hirako. I've been hearing some things. They're trying to maybe do that on the Tank card. If not, maybe on the maybe on Anyways card. Anyway versus MJ Akhmadev, September 14th. Anyway and Andy Hirako are stablemates. You know what I'm saying? They got the same team. So, but you know, PBC loves the Russells and Antoine. It makes sense for that card because Tank and Roach, that's a WBA event. I know they're gonna have Fulton and Shock on that card. That's a good fight, WBC. So yeah, I like that. Him pairing up with Tank again, that's a good look. We'll have to see. So I probably rule out that unification based off of that, and then the timing because Hitchens might not be back in the ring until like the fall. And then who else? Oh, Teofimo. So if Teofimo, you know, that seemed like a unification that should be made. They got the same manager. I mean, that manager Keith Conley normally don't put his guys together. The only time I can remember was Derevyanchenko versus Danny Jacobs for the vacant IBF title, the one Canelo got stripped from. That's the only time I seen him put his guys together. Unless you guys know, put that shit in the chat if you know. You know what I'm saying? Help me out. But that's the only one. And Keith Conley has Teofimo and Hitchens. So if we can put that together, unification, New York, that makes sense. Put it at the Garden, I guess, or Brooklyn. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Let me see who else. 140. There's some good fights at 140, but I know he probably looking for big fights. So Haney, Teofimo, those seem like options for him. I have to throw it. I always like when I break it down shit like this and think about options. I gotta throw in a curveball type shit because I had to put out some shit nobody else would probably think about. You see Hitchens resigning. I think so. Where else he's gonna go though? Where he gonna go? I mean, he left the PBC because they didn't give him no fights. But I won't rule that out. I won't rule him going back. This time, if he go back to the PBC, he would actually be a PBC fighter. He was never a PBC fighter. He was just on the platform because he was with Mayweather Promotions. But do he go back to that? I don't know. Top Rank, I mean, I don't know. Top Rank really signing guys right now until they get their deal together. So I don't know. Maybe anything can happen, but maybe he'll stay free agent. I mean, he got Keith Conley. I think having Keith Conley is better than having a promoter. You know what I'm saying? Because Keith Conley getting his guys big money fights. Listen to his stable. I mentioned Derenchenko, Danny Jacobs. That speaks for yourself. Those guys is old and faded, right? But he got Alicia Baumgartner. She got a big fight coming up for some big bread, July the 11th. He got her signed with Jake Paul. He got Edgar Berlanga. He always getting fights. What y'all say? Y'all like to throw it in Shakur face? Berlanga is the headliner. Shakur is on Berlanga's undercard. Guess who got him that deal? Keith Conley, right? He got Hitchens. So he got a lot of good fighters, bro. And he getting those guys a good bag. You know what I'm saying? So that might be better than signing with a promoter. You know what I'm saying? That might be better. You having a power broker as a manager, man, you good. Yeah, he got Teofimo. Yeah, Teofimo just signed with him. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking when the last time Keith Conley put two of his guys together. The only time I can think of is Danny Jacobs and Derenchenko. So yeah. So he got a good stable, can get those guys big money. I mean, reportedly he had Teofimo 11 million to face Devin Haney. He turned it down. So that's some big money. You know what I'm saying? Conor Ben, yep, Mark Castro. Yep. So that's what I'm saying. Conor Ben recently signed with him, but he got some big fight. He had a big fight in April. Got another big fight coming. So that's what I'm saying. He probably could be a free agent type shit. Yeah, call him his mentor. So and Keith, the best thing about him, Keith has relationships with all promoters. So I know I said him signing with PBC. I don't know how that would look, but I wouldn't rule it out because Keith Conley, he been around for a while. So good shit though. We'll see. That's what's up. Yeah. So yeah, that's good stuff, man. Yeah. Oh, this is the one. Okay, this is my curveball. You know what I'm saying? All right. So Boost is about to vacate his two titles, IBF and WBA. So they already ordered a rematch for Patty Donovan and Lewis Crocker. That fight ended in a controversial situation where Patty Donovan, he was dominated the fight, but then he hit my man after the bell, and they ruled the fight a disqualification. The IBF reordered the fight because they said the referee was opposition. So that was initially supposed to be another eliminator. Because, so since Boots is going to vacate to go to 54, they're going to fight for the vacant title. Hitchens can slide in there because just like other sanctioned bodies, just like the WBO does, the champion in the lower weight class can jump up there and do the same thing with the IBF. We just seen that with Yabuki. I know my man got the thumbnail right there. Yabuki just did it, and Yabuki moved up. He was a champion at 108 pounds, moved up to 112 to face the champion Ayala, put the beats on him. So that's a curveball. Maybe if Hitchens is tight at the weight, maybe Hitchens want to pursue that. That's another option. That's a matchroom fight. Um, Lewis Crocker and Donovan are Irish fighters. They got a big population of Irish fans in New York City. So if they can bring that to New York City for Hitchens, it may be a good atmosphere. So, I just threw that out there because that's probably something nobody gonna think of. So, you know what I'm saying? So now that I put it out there, hopefully it spreads. Because it may happen though. You never know. Because Hitchens did look kind of drawn at the weight. And if he can't get a big fight at 140 to unify, if he can't get to a Fimo, he can't get whatever. Maybe he look at 147 because 147 is wide open right now with Boots going up to 54. That's just wide open. Haney can make a move with the WBC and the WBA. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of shit, bro. That's a whole new live stream right there, breaking down 140 after Boots. But yeah, so I threw in that little curveball. We're gonna see. I don't see Hitchens going for the IBF at 147. He hate rehydration clause limit. I mean, maybe. I mean, I hear you on that, but maybe this will help him though. The extra 7 pounds, and then there's another thing. I know it's a hydration limit, but when you get to 147, every pound counts. 147, the rehydration clause is 11 pounds. The rehydration clause for 140 is 10. So as you get up in weight, it goes up. So I think 160 is like 12 pounds. 154 is like 11. 147 is like 11. 60 is 12 pounds. 68 is like 13, and so on and so forth. So maybe that can help him out. You know what I'm saying? Get his body a break. Not have to make. I think making those extra 7 pounds can help him out. And then the rehydration clause, he'll probably want to. He'll probably be good too. So he'll have to make 158 the second day. That may help him out. We never know. So I see what you're saying though, based on the past and shit. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Donovan, that'd be an interesting fight though, because Donovan is a good southpaw boxer. Lewis Crocker is more of a style for Hitchens because he's a come forward guy, don't really got defense like that. But Donovan is a tricky puzzle. It's just a curveball, something to think about if he wanted to do that, because he would have a direct shot at the title to become a two-time world champion. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I been trying to tell people about Yabuki like that, yo. He said he a beast. Said Bud in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Is it true that Boots is dropping the belts, moving up? If so, why would he do that? Is that it's that's what I'm hearing he's going to do. I think it's actually good to do it. I mean, he what he's doing right now. This is what I know from a great source, right? He's trying to put himself in position to fight for a title right away at 154. So him vacating the titles, it makes sense if he don't plan on fighting in that division no more. I know guys do that all the time. They're still holding on to belts. They have they're never coming back. They know they're not coming back, but they're holding to that belt to the last minute. But actually, Boots, he can drop the belt and get some insurances from the sanction body to go right into like a world title or interim title or a mandatory. And I think the WBA is his route against Yoenis Tellis. Yoenis Tellis is the WBA interim champion, a Cuban fighter. He fights on PBC, but I don't think he's a PBC fighter. He's with Warriors Boxing, the same people they got Morrell. So that actually is a good move. You know what I'm saying? If you can get the sanctioned bodies to work with you to go straight to a title or interim title, and then Crawford, he know he ain't coming back to 54 no matter what he's talking about. After he fight Canelo, if he wins, he's gonna cash out again against Canelo in February. So he ain't coming back. He already dropped the other titles that he had and positions. So yeah, it's good. I mean, that's what you should do as champions because you can make the division keep going. You don't stall the division. You know what I'm saying? So I actually like that shit. So we'll see. Oh yeah, no problem. I think Boots will be in perfect position because he is probably, and when I look at that division, it's a good division. And he might be probably the cash cow, maybe. I have to think about it. Because I think him doing uh those events in Philly and Atlantic City, that makes him probably the bigger draw. At 54, like I mean, Virgil headlined in his hometown before, had a good turnout, but nothing like what Boots did in Philly. Keith Thurman is a big name, but is he a big draw? I don't know. I mean, Tim Tszyu is a big name and big draw in Australia, So I don't know, but Boots can get an opportunity right away. Right away. I don't think it'll be against Bakram. Bakram would probably have a defense on the Crawford and Canelo card against Josh Kelly. You know what I'm saying? So y'all look out for that. And then he has a mandatory. But the thing with Bakram just fought his mandatory. A lot of people forget this stuff because we kind of recently biased, but we don't really, because we go with the popular shit though. But Lubin, Lubin is the mandatory now, but Bakram just fought his mandatory in Tim Tszyu. If you remember last year, Lubin pulled out of the fight for the mandatory position against Tim Tszyu. People was calling him all types of ducks and shit. So that's how Tim Tszyu became the mandatory because Lubin pulled out the fight. Bachman beat his mandatory. So once you beat your mandatory, you have an option to do a voluntary. You have like a window to do it. And I think, yeah, so he hitting that window to do that shit. So after he make his first defense, like right away, the IBF is going to order him versus Lubin. So that's what it is. And that's why I was saying about Moratala and Andy Cruz. Same thing. Like even though he got elevated to interim champion, he could get a mandatory right away. It depends on how these guys put that exception in. So there's a lot of stuff um that can go on. Like people say, uh, we hear that myth that mandatories trump no unifications trump mandatories. We hear that all the time. It depends on the situation. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the situation. And like as a champion, and that's why you gotta have a good team around you because if you can tell who got good teams and who don't. Because the guys with the good teams, they can win a world title and say, okay, let's take this title home and see can we be a big draw and get some defenses. The ones that don't have a good team, they win a world title and then they thrown in there with a killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna get that shit up out you. Cambosa's got a good team because he was able to get those fights back to back. But in a sense, he maybe should have had a title defense. You know what I'm saying? He probably should have did a title defense before he gave Haney the opportunity. Well, he was trying to give Lomachenko the opportunity, but he went to war. But then Haney got it. But look at it hindsight, because all hindsight is always clear as hell, right? Maybe he should have did like a little combat fight just to defend his titles against a contender, just to say I'm a champion. But he didn't even had that opportunity, and he went straight into two Devin fights, and that shit demoralized him. For me, I feel like those two fights, he lost a lot in those fights. Then he fought Maxie Hughes and lost. I thought he lost that fight, but they gave it to him. Loma stopped him, and then look what Hitchens did to him tonight. So that's crazy. So we'll see. A lot of moving parts, though, for sure. A lot of moving parts. I love it too. There's so much shit, bro. So much stuff to talk about with this boxing. You know what I'm saying? Unexpected shit. She said, "Yeah, I'm excited about Boost going to 54. He got so much options up there. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to stay at 47 if you tight at the weight. He been saying it, so I'm with it. 54, he gonna have some good fights for him. I think he gonna have some better competition at 54 because those guys is just as big and strong and But I think he's overall talented. We'll see what his move is. I'm hearing your Ennis tell us they still trying to work that out. If not, I mean, shit, he can just fight a top contender. You know what I'm saying? To welcome to 54. But knowing him, he's gonna get right in the title position. So yeah. So it's tricky with the WBA though. Crawford is the WBA. Crawford's the WBA champion at 154. He's going to fight Canelo. You know, if he would have did like Boots doing, what he's talking about doing, vacating the titles, you're not coming back. That's what Crawford should do. Just vacate the title. But if he did, it get interesting because Jamel Charlo is champion in recess. They talk about him coming back for the longest time. If that title is vacant, he can come out of recess and get his throne back. You know what I'm saying? At least piece of his championship. But they've been saying Charlo coming back for about 4 or 5 months, and we seen the wrong Charlo come back, not Jamel. So that's a little interesting thing with that WBA, But Tellus, he's the interim champion. Boots go fight him and get that interim title, and then when Crawford vacates or whatever, he basically putting pressure on Crawford in a sense because now if he wins the interim and they're gonna be hyping up as he's the mandatory for Crawford. Crawford gotta make a move. Is he gonna come back to 54 like he said? You know what I'm saying? Win or lose against Canelo. And then that would probably put some pressure on him, like, bro, I'm the mandatory. But Crawford not coming back. So he get that belt And then you got the WBO is up for grabs with Xander Zayas and Jorge Garcia. They're gonna fight in July 26th. So I'm not sure if Boots can get if Xander win. I'm not sure if he's gonna get Xander right away, but you never know. These young guys are ambitious, you know what I'm saying? So if he want to go that way, I heard him say he would fight Boots. So if that was a fight to be made, uh, what else? WC, you got Fundora and Tim Zoo. So that's another tricky one as well. They're gonna fight in July 19th. So uh, you got Virgil is the interim champion, but I'm not sure if they have mandatories that's due. I know Bokachuk is Virgil's mandatory, which is crazy. So the winner of the Zoo versus Fundora, what would they do? Would they go fight? The winner would fight Earl Spence. Would the winner fight Keith Thurman? I know they owe Keith Thurman a big fight since Tim Zoo left him at the altar type shit. Because we all thought that was the fight next. So it's a lot of moving parts, man. Virgil Ortiz, he talking about. I know they want to get Keith Thurman in the ring. Does Keith Thurman take that fight, or do he wait for the winner of Tim Zoo and Fundora? We're gonna know a lot, right? If we we see Keith Thurman fight week of the Pacquiao card with Fundora and Zoo, you know he's about to get the fight. That's how PBC used to do all the time. You'll see the potential fighter. They be on the commentary team or something like that. And we see Keith Thurman doing commentary. You know what I'm saying? He's going after that fight. He was promised that fight. They just go to the fights to finalize the deals behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? I learned that shit a long time ago. When I go to fights and shit, and they all getting together to talk because it's like a big family reunion type shit. Like when you have a PBC event, it's like that with PBC more than all the other sanctions, all the other promoters. You go to a PBC event because they don't really have them like that. So you'll see guys that's in the arena, you know what I'm saying, talking behind the scenes and shit like that. That's how they be making fights. When they go to the fights, they be making fights. You know what I'm saying? A little gem. Give me some potential matchups for Andy Cruz. Um, if it's not more Tyler next, um, I think he should probably fight. Let me see. I don't know. Stay active. Maybe fight somebody in the top 15. You know, something like that. I don't know right off top, but definitely stay active though. I'm gonna look at the IBF rankings real quick. But I think he should stay active against a solid guy, somebody that's similar to Raymond Tyler. They got good boxing ability and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just stay active. I think that would definitely be good. Fight one of these top guys. Shit. I don't know. Looking at the rankings, I don't know. Andy Cruz. His matchmaking is kind of crazy because nobody was thinking about no damn Mashiro. They pulled him out of, you know what I'm saying, from Japan. Yeah, man, it don't even matter with him. I like a Maxie Hughes fight, you know, for him. That'd be good. We know him. We know Maxie Hughes is a solid competitor. Yeah, man, stay active. My thing is, if the fight is not next, then he should stay active for sure. I like him beating more Tyler. What you think? I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think I can see ways where Cruz can outbox more Tyler. I like more Tyler has an edge because he's a bigger puncher to me. I'm actually leaning towards more Tyler, but it's a good fight. The Andy can win with his hand speed and stuff like that. But more Tyler is a good fighter. He got good angles, got a good jab, and he's a big puncher. Like real strong, tough puncher, no nonsense. I think he can capitalize on some of Andy Cruz's mistakes. I mean, that's a tough fight to really think about. Really. That's a tough fight to break down. Both guys can win though. I want to see that shit for sure. I want to see that. I'm kind of disappointed he didn't say nothing about more Tyler. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the one that seems more realistic than Keyshawn. But I mean, you can clout chase people that if you beat them 4 5 times, you can still clout chase them because that guy ahead of you in the popularity shit. So he got to. They put him on the woodwork. Well, yeah, nah, bro, he ain't do nothing. Yeah, say that's 50-50. Yeah, I could see more Tyler stopping him late for sure. Yeah, I mean that fight right there. Now we gotta start looking at the corners. We gotta start looking at certain everything gonna fall into play because it's so close to me. Um, yeah, that's a good fight, man. More Tyler got angles. He can punch with both hands. He got to deal with the speed and the defense and Andy Cruz got good precision on his shots. That's a good one, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good ass fight. I can't wait for that Norman Sasaki fight. Yes, sir. Early in the morning. Yep. That's Juneteenth. We got that day off for sure. And we're gonna be up. We're gonna be up for sure. Tap in with that. That's gonna be a fun fight because Sasaki is an offensive fighter and his defense ain't like that. I think Brian Norman got the better defense, and he's an offensive fighter. He got good power, young, strong, athletic guy. That's a good one. You know what I'm saying? So, and Norman has the chance to solidify the number one position at welterweight now, since Boots is up out of there. Because these other guys moving up is trying to take his spot. So he get an opportunity to establish himself as a number one guy. Nah, man, you ain't crazy. That's actually, not a bad pick. You look at the styles and the tactics of the fighters. Hamza Shiraz is 6'3" with a good jab. And he can punch. I give him the benefit of the doubt of that last fight against Carlos Adames because ain't nobody have no easy time with Carlos Adames. I did thought he lost that fight right in the mouth. But Malenga struggled with guys that can box. They can use their jab and move just a little bit. He'll struggle with it because his shit is all about power and being brute sport strength. Trying to use his strength and overpower you. But I like that Hamza Shiraz has Andy Lee in his corner, who has turned out to be one of the better trainers in boxing. It's a good matchup. Edgar can win by KO. He said, I got Edgar. Edgar. He can win, you know what I'm saying, for sure. But I think Hamza going to put up a better effort than what you guys think. Oh, that is a good card. Real good card from top to bottom. That Morrell and Katiev fight, fire. That's fire. Because Katiev is a perfect style. You know what I'm saying? Matisse and Playo, that's going to be fun too. Playo, he uses the ring, but he let his hands go. And we know Matisse don't have no defense, but if you slow down, you get tired and you want to fight off the ropes, then you're in trouble for Matisse. Shakur versus Zepeda, that's gonna be fun because Shakur he gonna have to fight a little bit, but I can see Shakur sitting in the pocket right in front of him and not getting hit, and just counter punching all night. I can see that. See, what Zepeda go crazy on you is when you go to the ropes. Shakur can stay in the middle of the ring, and he gonna have a lot of success because if you're throwing a lot of punches, you're not gonna. That guy's a sharpshooter. It's a good defensive fighter, counter puncher. So if you're in the middle of the ring throwing all the punches, you're gonna be missing, and you're gonna get countered. He get his success when you backed up against the rope, and he can go crazy on you. If Shakur stays off the ropes, and maintain that center of the ring, he gonna win 10-2 for real. He gonna win 10-2. The same thing with what Hitchens just did to Cambosis. He didn't go to the ropes. He stayed right in the middle of the ring, use his jab, counter punch, pot shot. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even have to hold and grab Cambosis because he wasn't even in range that much to do that. So it may be a tactic that Shakur can use if the guy's getting overly aggressive. Just grab him, spin him, get back in the middle. But I'm just looking at it in the middle of the ring. I can see Zepeda get hit with a lot of clean, crisp shots. Then that's when we go to the intangible. Is my man hands gonna hold up? So there's a lot of what ifs and stuff like that. That's why it makes the fight kind of, it's interesting to see. He has a shot. You know what I'm saying? He's a durable, strong guy. I play LD. What's good with you? He's a durable, strong guy that's gonna come to fight. Xander is not the biggest puncher, but he's very active with his work. I think he has a shot. Yeah, because he's a good puncher, a good body puncher, strong. He can match what Xander brings to the table. I think Xander's going to beat him though. Close. It's a fight he's going to have to work for. I think he'll have to work for that shit. Yes, sir. He said I'll be in the house for which fight? The Xander fight? If so, that's what's up, bro. Salute. That should be a fun night of boxing. You got hella fighters on that card. You may see Aaron De Los Santos on that card. He might fuck around side with Top Rank. I just gotta see it to believe it. With Xander. Yeah, I'm with you though. I know. I like his. I don't know. He always doing some type of movement, and I like his body language in the ring. Good fighter. Solid defensively. I see him all boxing Garcia and winning that fight, and then he can take it to the trenches too. That's a good fight though. Like I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Xander wins that fight, but I think I pick him to win. But if you picking Garcia, I'm not tripping off that either. You know what I'm saying? Those are good fights that we need to have more of. Fights that you may favor one person, but you can see the other person winning instead of like one sided. Like real talk, this shit we seen last night and tonight, that shit was one sided, bro. Like Hitchens dominated that fight. That was easy work for real. That was an easy fight. He just used his jab. That's it, and then everything else opened up. Not yet, not yet. Probably you'll hear some stuff coming out next week when they do their press tour. So what they going to Saudi, June the 20th. Then they going to New York the 22nd, and then going to Vegas on the 27th. So 20th, 22nd, and 27th. We'll probably hear some shit trick out. You know what I'm saying? He looked great. He has a legit shot against Tio. Now for sure, he got that style. Now Tio would move his head, and I think Tio would probably can counter over that jab in some aspects. But just being long and rangy and being consistent with that jab, that's gonna give Teofimo fits. That's gonna get him fits. And Hitchens he look big and strong at 140. Imagine he don't have to do a 10-pound rehydration. He might be even better. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think maybe 47 might be in his near future more than staying at 40. We'll see. We'll see for sure. So yeah, man, I'm gonna close it out. I want to salute everybody coming through the building. I'll be back tomorrow. We got some news and notes we got to cover from the week of boxing. We got some fight news. We got some signings. We got some updates. We got a lot of shit to cover, and we're gonna put that out for sure. Man, I said peace out. Salute to you, Andre. I appreciate you coming through, just like everybody else. Thank you guys for your time. I'll holler at you guys tomorrow, and I'm out. Salute.